Barbarella, issue number 7. So we took a little bit of a break, enough for a trade, because it really felt like the end of a trade run. Is this being collected in trades? I'd really hope so, because it's a good way to get people interested in Barbarella. Because this series has been nothing but great. Like, it's exactly what I needed from a Barbarella story. And I'm probably one of the youngest people you're ever going to meet who is a huge fan of Barbarella. Like, there's probably the vintage and classic fans that love and adore the character. And then there's me, who's like young, hungry, and obsessed with this character. And I've been loving this run by Sarah Hoyt so far. It's been such a fantastic read. And this issue sets up a lot of cool stuff. It's pretty easy going. It's pretty laid back. Not much happens. It's more like we have to get back to our ship, which is a pretty common theme we've seen in a lot of Barbarella. So in this issue, they're headed to the home planet of the lady. It's just like a mysterious planet. How are they going to get there? Who really knows? They kind of get sucked into like this weird vortex, this like thing. It's like a destroyed planet that's kind of sucking them in, and they kind of like get their ship destroyed. And when Barbarella wakes up, she is like locked in a zoo. She's in a cage. She is like something that people are staring at, and very, very Barbarella, which is really important to me. It's something I like to see. She is once again the object of the male gaze, but this time it's an idea of like fascination as opposed to sexuality, which is kind of a cool, just different twist on the things. So these creatures are fascinated by like this species having women that look this feminine, and it's like that's kind of a cool idea to play with. One of the zookeepers gives her like a bowl of disgusting slop, and that's where we get the name of this issue, which I haven't really touched on like the names of the individual issues in this run, but this one is so good. This one's called The Land Before Time's Running Out. That is such a good name. That is the name you'd give to a vintage science fiction movie, and that's exactly what Barbarella is, so it's awesome. Luckily for Barbarella, the people that locked her in this cage didn't really check her person, so she's able to like get something out of her heel that she used to break out of the cage. Her and Vix go on the run. The red alerts go up like one of the creatures escaped from their cage. She destroys a couple of them, runs into the forest, and that's where she gets like the first glimpse of Taln, and he's kind of like still out of range. She can't really communicate with her. It feels like every issue, Taln is like being destroyed or broken, and I feel like this time around I just went, okay, cool. He's still doing the Taln thing. It's funny and it's cute. I like it. So she's running through a really dangerous forest, like, big carnivorous plants, and there's dinosaurs all around, which I think is really cool. Because something I thoroughly believe in, and I think this is a very important thing for vintage science fiction, it should just be very close to prehistoric dinosaur stuff. Like there's a fine line between science fiction, like dinosaurs, and I think having dinosaur-like creatures in here is really cool. So she's even like, wonder if these guys are related to the ones from my planet? That might be a mystery we solve another day. But right now, her and Vix have to get back to their ship, and they're traveling through the jungle trying to figure out how to get back to the main city. And they come across this weird dinosaur-like creature. It's kind of just like a mix of, you remember like Kevin from Up? It's got Kevin vibes, like that really funny bird. It's got like that look mixed with like the dinosaur aesthetic. So it's hurt. She helps like remove a thorn that's stuck in its paw, and they instantly become friends. And now she's got something she could ride on to travel places. And randomly, through her exploits, she comes across a random villager in the middle of the darkness who happens to know the name Barbarella. And he's like, oh yes, I know that name. The lady, she was obsessed with you. She loved the name. She thought she could be everything like you. It's like, what? The lady's from here? It's like, yeah, until she changed herself and became something different. So wherever these people are living, like the land before time that doesn't exist technically, it's like, the prehistoric era where things are different. That woman, the lady who's been following Barbarella, is from here. It's kind of a cool idea. I think that's a really interesting thing. And she was like really interested in like craving power and becoming so powerful and just having all that with her that she started to become a lot more like Barbarella. I think that's really cool. And I think, again, it's kind of like that old school science fiction thing when you are doing like an overarching villain for this kind of story. They have to kind of be similar to Barbarella just in terms of aesthetics. So you can have like the cool, action figures that are like the same like build but different colors. So I think that's really cool. I buy that a lot. This random guy just gives her a compass and he's like, well, good luck, you'll find your way out eventually. And then we meet another random guy in the middle of the desert. This is like an old guy from a planet called Mayotte, and he's just like, hey, I was stranded here and my people just like, went to war for no reason, so I'm just gonna dig. Which I get it, man. Have fun, you do you. That's pretty cool. He starts to tell a long-winded story about his planet Civil War and what led him to come to this planet. You know, Barbarella's falling asleep, and Vix is like, okay, I think we gotta get going now because this story seems like it's gonna drag on for a while. So they leave in the middle of the night, and they eventually make their way to the city, and this is where we learn that the lady is aware that they are there and their presence has been spotted. So now she has to figure out how to reach Taln, like actually get a hold of him and figure out a way out of this mess. Get a nice suit up moment. You know, normally when it comes to Barbarella, we're getting a suiting down moment where she's just wearing less clothing, but this time she puts on a nice cargo short, what would you call it? It's like a space, not a space, like the air hanger outfit with like the tool belt, very vintage pinup style. It's really cool to see. She's getting to work building some circuits so she could talk to Talon. They're like, okay, we are somewhere I don't understand, like our brains and everything. This is really creepy. We're like out of time, in time, all this weird stuff. This is where the lady is from. The lady is here. Things are not going good for us, Barbarella. I don't really know what's happening, but all I can say is she is aware of our presence and things are not going to go our way. If we don't play this right, things are going to go bad. And what do we see as that is happening? Well, we look back and we see that all of these ships in this hangar are there located on their person, and it looks like they're about to get blown out of the sky. Is their plan going to work? Nope, not at this rate. So it's a fun issue. It's quiet, it's quick, it's exactly what I need from Barbarella. I like that this series is just taking its time to build up the mythos of this villain, as opposed to just like one and done stories. It's like everything at every turn of Barbarella, Taln and Vix is being contemplated by like this villain's overarching theme, which is kind of cool to see. I just like having a good Barbarella story where she's treated like the character deserves to be, where she's having fun and doing the right thing. And you throw in some dinosaurs, I'm all on board. I love me some dinosaurs and I love me some Barbarella. You combine the two, I'm there 100%. So, Barbarella issue number 7, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.